to the Birdhouse Dynasty show, and we are back for another live mock draft session for you this draft season. We are going to do a 7-round mock draft, or we're going to use the 7-round mock from CBS Sports that recently came out this past weekend and use that for context for our picks. So we are going to get the draft board loaded up for you guys now, and if you'd like to join, just mention in the chat that you want in and I will send you the link. And let me get the mock ready here for you guys. Just got to set up get the settings correct here. They always do it in a snake draft format, which is just odd. But anyway, we'll get you going here, folks. All right, let's get the mock draft up here. I know you guys are all excited for another mock draft in the Birdhouse. So what are your thoughts recently? Who's been moving up? Who's been moving down? There really shouldn't be too much action at this point. I mean, literally since the combine, all we've had to do is talk about these guys. I mean, sure, there's been a few pro days, but I mean, other than Tet McMillan solidifying himself with a, what did he run, like a 4.45? Otherwise, there really hasn't been a whole lot of movement, or really should there have been a whole lot of movement. The main player, of course, that we still do not know much about as far as where we should draft is Travis Hunter. And that one is very, very, for a couple months now, I've been putting Travis Hunter mid to late second round in these mock drafts. But now, as we're getting closer to the draft and hearing about Cleveland wanting to use him as a wide receiver, they sit there at the number 2 pick with Travis Hunter being there on the board. If they take him, I could easily see that being the top wide receiver in the draft, ahead of Tet McMillan. So player-wise, I mean, Hunter's route running is a little better than Tet's. Tet's got the size on him, but as far as an every down wide receiver, I think they'll both be good options. I mean, I hate to nitpick here, but athleticism, I guess, goes to Travis Hunter, and it's a real tight race between those two. But I want to bring up the chat here just to see who might be in here ready to go. Well, I think we're just going to go ahead, get started here. Now, if you want to follow along, let me put the link out there for you guys. If you do want that link for the 7-round mock draft, I'll get it here in a second. There we go. There we go. There is the link. If you want to follow along, you can see which players were drafted where. Now, just to get things rolling here, I'm going to start off at the top, and there's no reason to move Ashton Genty with this mock. He went 105 to the Jaguars, which is interesting, but new coaching staff, you can see where they want to move off of ETN and Bigsby and go ahead and, you know, Liam Cohen comes in, wants his rock, and there they go. They go ahead and grab Ashton Genty 101. So, well, with the 5th pick, we're grabbing him at the 101 here. So that's where we're at with him. Now, in past mocks, Omarion Hampton was the 2nd overall pick. But in this one, I'm going to go as I was talking about, Travis Hunter being the top wide receiver. And so that's what I'm going to do. He went 102 to the Browns, and so we're going to go ahead and lock him in at 102 there. Now, Omarion Hampton went at the beginning of the 2nd round. It was pick 34, so 2nd pick in the 2nd round to the Giants. I love that landing spot, actually, because it gives him plenty of opportunity. I'm going to grab Cam Ward, however, at the 103. He goes at the 1st pick overall to the Titans. I think that the Titans, are committing to him. Now, in this mock, they did grab a couple of wide receivers for him, but they weren't exactly great. Torrey Horton near the end of the 3rd round, and they also grabbed a bum in the 7th round. So not much there. So Calvin Ridley's still there, Chigo Okonkwo's still there, decent running game, but he is the 1st overall pick, and he's a gunslinger, so that helps in fantasy at least. So, but as I was talking about, I'm going to go Omarion Hampton here at the 104. Then Tet McMillan went at pick 6 to the Las Vegas Raiders. So we're going to go ahead and lock him in at the 105. So there you have the top 5 with the CBS Sports 7-round real NFL draft mock. Genty 1, he's a Jaguar. Travis Hunter at 2, he's going to Cleveland at the 102. Cam Ward, who goes with the 1st overall pick to the Titans, he goes at the 103 here. Omarion Hampton, 2nd pick in the 2nd round, goes at the 104. And then Tet McMillan at the 105. Now, for the 2nd portion of the 1st round, we will let you know Shedeur Sanders goes 107 to the Jets. So that makes it very interesting with Shedeur and Justin Fields being in the mix there. You have Tyler Warren going at the 13th pick to the Chargers, which is a damn good landing spot. Judkins goes to the Bears in the 2nd round. Travion Henderson to the Broncos in the 2nd round. Love that landing spot. But we've got a couple of interesting wide receivers as well. Matthew Golden, that's pick 16 to the Arizona Cardinals. And then our thumbnail, Emeka Egbuka at the 23rd overall pick. That's right. The Green Bay Packers select a 1st-round wide receiver in this mock. So let's see where I decide. I'm going to go, maybe this is a little off, but I love this landing spot for Tyler Warren. He gets Justin Herbert throwing him the ball, and that is just phenomenal for him. Next up, I am going to slide in Travion Henderson with that landing spot to the Broncos. That is just perfect. Him and Sean Payton, he knows how to use running backs. Next up, though, now is where it gets tough between... let me mark off these guys so I know which ones I've picked. Okay. Now I'm between Judkins and Buka. I'm going to go with Buka here at pick 8. going to the Packers, he's the most talented guy in the room then. Okay? More talented than Jaden Reed, more talented than Romeo Dobbs, more talented than Christian Watson even. So that's where I like Egbuka is more versatile, okay? Don't get me wrong, Watson has the deep speed, but with him being out most of this year, Egbuka is going to have a chance right away, boom, into the starting lineup with Jordan Love. I love that landing spot. If it were actually to play out that way, we're going to go Quinshon Judkins then at the 109, and then we'll drop in Shedeur Sanders, who, again, this is just a questionable landing spot with him going to the Jets. What did they sign Justin Fields for then? So, I don't know. It's an odd one, but that's why he's going at the 110. All right. So, let me mark some of these guys off here. And there, and Egbuka. So now we see here that Caleb Johnson went in round 4 to the Dallas Cowboys, which is very interesting. You have Golden in the first, Luther Burden in the second. This is where the pre-draft rankings become important. Am I going to take a 4th-round running back over a 1st-round wide receiver? In this case, yes, I'm going to draft Caleb Johnson. Going to the Cowboys is just too juicy to pass up. Yeah, that's why pre-draft rankings are important, because some of these decent running backs here, they didn't even get drafted in this mock draft. Ollie Gordon, Rocket Sanders, and Damian Martinez were completely left off of this mock, which is just, I don't know. That's tough to fathom. All right. I don't see that happening, but I guess it's possible. All right, Jackson Dart at the top of the 3rd round to Cleveland. We've got Luther Burden in the 2nd to the Saints, or Matthew Golden in the 1st. Oh boy. So I like Luther Burden more, but because of this draft capital, I'm going to go ahead and lock in Matthew Golden. Then the 201, go Luther Burden. And then right away, we're going to go Jackson Dart, who went at the top of the 2nd. And then go ahead and lock in Luther Burden at the 203. If you're able to get Luther Burden at the 203 in your drafts, man, I would be, that'd be unbelievable to me. But no, I already took him at the 201. What am I talking about? Okay, no, I'm thinking of the next wide receiver. That'd be Trey Harris. Okay, Trey Harris went to Dallas at the 44th overall pick, and that's a golden landing spot for him, playing opposite CD there. That'll be a great landing spot for Trey Harris. So then with these landing spots, that is where I probably draw the line on the first mega tier. Those are good players, really good players with their particular landing spots. Now it gets interesting. In the 2nd round, there were a couple more wide receivers. Jalen Noel to the Jets, Jack Besh to the Rams, and Jaden Higgins to the Seahawks. Then you also have Bashul Tutin going to Miami in the 2nd round, which is, not sure where to play that. Dylan Sampson to the Raiders in the 4th round is juicy, and Jalen Milroe to the Giants in the third round. So I love Jalen Milroe, but I am going to grab Dylan Sampson here with his landing spot to the Raiders first. Then I'll jump on Jalen Milroe. And finally, I'm going to place Colson Loveland here, who went to the Broncos. It was a good landing spot. And I guess this guy's doubling up at tight end, but who knows? In my leagues, so much trading going on. The guy who has the 106 very likely doesn't have the 206 as well. But point being that Colson Loveland here is somebody who I don't want to say is falling. I dislike it all. I just don't love drafting tight ends, honestly, in the first round, unless they're Brock Bowers, because as much as Tyler Warren is great, and I did take him at the 106 here, that mostly was because of Justin Herbert throwing him the rock. Bo Nix has had a good rookie season, but he's not Justin Herbert yet. So that's where that falls into place. So next up, if you're following along, let's get Loveland. Now we get into the nitty-gritty with the running backs and potential wide receivers. So once you get after the third round with the wide receivers, it gets really sketchy. So there's still a good 10 wide receivers here that are drafted in the second and third rounds, but even some of these third rounders I find very leery of. And so then you've got Tootin in the second round to the Dolphins, Scadaboo in the third to the Chargers, DJ Giddens in the third to New Orleans, and Jaden Blue in the fourth to the Chiefs. Also had RJ Harvey going in the fifth to New England. Boy, I'm gonna have to go Jalen White here. Capital. There we go. Was to the Jets, so I don't love that. But if they're getting Shedeur Sanders, whether it's Sanders or Justin Fields, that's decent capital. All right. Got some really interesting ones here with Higgins going to Seattle in the second, Jalen Royals going to the Chiefs, Isaiah Bond to the Browns. This was done before his latest incident became news, so I would think that Bond would drop probably down to like the fourth or fifth round at least with his sexual assault charges, so keep that in mind with Isaiah Bond. Probably knock him down. Obviously the talent's still there, but is his head anywhere near the football field right now? I don't know. I'm gonna lean with we got a group of interesting running backs here, and I'm just gonna grab Tootin because, well, I think he's a stud, and I don't know what kind of work he's going to get, but I love the landing spot in Miami. So the potential is there, and who knows if Devon Achane gets a big contract or not. Tootin could be the guy in a couple of years. I'm going to go Scadaboo next. Love his opportunity with the Chargers. Najee Harris only signed a one-year contract. Scadaboo could be Harbaugh's guy. And then, so we got Scadaboo, Tootin, and, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take DJ Giddens and his third round draft capital. This really throws this sleeper draft board into flux. And then we're going to go Jaden Higgins. I'm not head over heels with, but if the Seahawks are taking him basically to replace DK Metcalf with their second round pick there, I'm going to buy into that. Then make sure there's no quarterbacks We had Mason Taylor at tight end going to the Colts in the second round, Fannin in the third, and Ferguson to the Bucks in the third, and Arroyo to the Patriots in the fourth. So some interesting tight ends there. Besh to the Rams. I don't know how much I love that. I'm going to go Jalen Royals. I think that Royals going to the Chiefs is going to artificially inflate his value. I think he's a baller. So it's a decent landing spot there for Jalen Royals. And I'm going to go with, I like Iomaner. He got a good landing spot going to the Houston Texans there in the third round. So not terrible enough capital. Still day two. I'm going to grab him there. Next up, let's see. I will go with Jack Besh, who again had decent draft capital. So we're going to take him there. Then we're going to hit up the running backs. Jaden Blue going to the Chiefs in the fourth. You can't pass that up. Here we go. And RJ Harvey to New England. I like that as well. Yes, there we go. Okay, now we can hit up some of the tight ends from this draft. Taj Brooks to the Niners. Nothing special there. Yeah, I'm going to go hit up this tight end tier real quick. Okay, 1 second here. Be right back. Okay, we're back. All right. So after RJ Harvey, we are going to go tight end, Mason Taylor. Don't love the landing spot. Actually, I'm going to take Fannin ahead. His landing spot is the Rams. That gives him better opportunity. Then Mason Taylor in Indy. And actually like Arroyo to the Patriots. I know that Hunter Henry is there, but I'm going to go him. Then we'll go Mason Taylor. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Next up, we will go back to the running back well. And yes, now we'll go Taj Brooks to the Niners. I haven't been a huge Taj Brooks guy, but you can't deny the landing spot here in San Francisco. So he would definitely move up the boards a hair. There we go. There's Taj Brooks. And then I'll go. There's a couple of interesting ones. Rashard Smith to Indy. Guess we can go that route. See here, all these decent running backs with no landing spot, no home. Craziness. Okay. We had Jordan James going to Dallas. Let's see. Kyle Williams to New England. I don't mind that. It's just I hate picking receivers in the third round. Their hit rates are so bad. But we'll go ahead and take him here. Okay. And yeah, Jordan James went to Dallas in this one. So you'd have, of course, Caleb Johnson there, but Jordan James would get a fair shake as well with some possibility for touches. trying to think if there's another quarterback with any shot. You got Tyler Shook to Seattle in the third, Will Howard to the Rams, Kyle McCord to the Cardinals in the fifth, Quinn Ewers to the Colts in the fifth. Just ugly. Guess we'll take Torrey Horton, sorry, to Tennessee in the end of the third. And now, really, honestly, I am just going to pick. Evan Neal went in the seventh round. I honestly would just be taking Gordon wherever he goes as a undrafted free agent. I'm not kidding here. Damian Martinez is an undrafted free agent. And Donovan Edwards, undrafted free agent. I mean, this mock draft was just so crazy. Kyle Montague, he went to Cleveland, so I don't mind that landing spot there at all. Seeing as you'd have Jerome Ford as a possibility there. But Montague has a shot if he would go to Cleveland. That's how crazy it is. Quinn Ewers going to Indy. Again, nothing guaranteed there in Indy. I'll take Will Howard then to the Rams. Don't mind grabbing backup quarterbacks here in the fourth round, and you shouldn't either. Those quarterbacks can present some value if they actually are the backup for their teams. And there's Tyler Shoop. And Kyle McCord, again, went to Arizona, so we'll grab him. Now, Jacoby Brissett is there, but I could see Kyle McCord beating him out. And then we'll just finish it off with the remaining running backs. Rocket Sanders, no landing spot. Khalil Mullings, no landing spot. And Corey Kiner did get picked, so I will grab him. Corey Kiner went to Buffalo, yes. So he's more of a Ray Davis clone, so that's an interesting pick. But anyway, there's the draft I have for you with the 7-round mock from CBS Sports. Very interesting in some of the names at running back that were left out, I found. And up top, you can see I moved Travis Hunter to the 102. If he goes to Cleveland, I think he's a hot commodity there. And so I have no problem moving him up that high. But again, he might not go to the Browns, and then he might go somewhere else where he plays defense. But as far as what the Browns say, they would draft him as a wide receiver. So anyway, that's about all I have for you this Mock Draft Monday. We've got a great show coming up for you Thursday with a couple guys from DD Fantasy, Shane Manila, as well as John Bauer are going to be joining us. Shane is from Mannequin Chill with Scott Connor, and he's on the DD Fantasy site. He has his own show, Shane Says. And then we have John Bauer, who runs things for Dynasty Theory, also a DD Fantasy show. So great things coming up Thursday with our mock draft 3.0. We will be doing it without a 7-round mock this time. We will just be drafting based off talent and giving you a good idea heading into that final 7-day period before the actual NFL draft. So I'll get back to this. If you have any questions, as always, just leave them in the chat. Love to hear any other trade options. You can throw me coffee at buymeacoffee.com/Birdhouse Dynasty Show, or check out the Patreon. Right now, just $3 a month. It's got my Dynasty rankings, got my rookie rankings there, and many other things. So check those out. And remember, never stop working.